This is an open meeting under section 19.81 to 19.98 of the Wisconsin State Statutes. You have last month's meeting minutes. Any need for correction? Anyone? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve them?
I'll motion to approve.
Motion by John,
Second.
second by Kate. All in favor of approving last month's minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The minutes are approved. Monthly staff reports.
Numbers are down a little bit from March of '23. Adult fitness had a pretty good chunk with 600 less. A good majority of that was from Silver Sneakers and our other senior programs being down. Miscellaneous admittance was down as well. Signacast was also down, mostly being due to swim lessons. I don't know if we had offered less classes, perhaps. Not sure what the reasoning for that is. Memberships, again, have leveled off. Those were pretty even. Golf Simulator, again, had 36 reservations for a total of 48 hours. That's been kind of the average with that so far. And youth sports were up plus 80, namely because we had an archery offering that we didn't in '23.
Do you have any handle on percentage of simulator rentals for residents versus non?
Not off the top of my head. It's something we could bring to the commission next month.
Okay. Any specific questions on staff reports, guys?
The Silver Snickers, the reason it's down?
I don't have one for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that we changed or the offerings?
Actually, I think one of them was one of the offerings. Zach, do you recall the name? I don't want to put you on the spot.
I don't know the exact name, but it was mentioned, I think, in last month's meeting that we did lose a couple silver providers. So that's having a major impact right now on our numbers.
That's what I was-
WPS.
That's what I was
Yeah.
wondering.
Mission
Who have
Service.
dropped that offering, yeah.
They dropped that from their supplemental benefit offering,
Yep.
January 1st. So,
Okay. Thank you.
and frankly, they are one of the most cost-effective Medicare supplement providers for this area, for Washington County. So if we have a number of city residents that are with them, that could be a driving force here.
Okay.
Any other questions on them? All right, any communication or correspondence come in, Randy?
None.
Okay. No appearances or public comments. No old business. Under new business administration, we have mayoral appointments for the Park and Rec Commission.
Yes, the mayor has reappointed Commissioner Helms and Commissioner Kulik to new terms, and then he has also reappointed Alderperson Kohler to be our aldermanic rep for another year. So, welcome back, guys. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
Glad to have everyone here. All right, then my favorite time of the year, we have the commission election of officers. Are there any nominations from the floor for the office of president of the Park and Recreation Commission? Anyone?
I'll nominate Todd.
Thank you, John.
I would second that.
Thank you, Ken. Are there any other nominations for the office of president of the Park and Recreation Commission? Anyone? Are there any other nominations for the office of president? All right, I'll accept the nomination. All in favor of me for president of the Park and Recreation Commission, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Now, at this time, I would take nominations from the floor for the office of Vice President of the Park and Recreation Commission.
I'll nominate Scott Helms.
All right, Kate, I'll go with you first. Who did you nominate?
Scott Helms.
Nomination of Scott by Kate
I'll second that.
and a second by Joel. Scott, will you accept the
I'll accept.
nomination?
Yep.
Are there any other nominations for the office of Vice President for the Park and Recreation Commission? Are there any other nominations for the office of Vice President of the Park and Recreation Commission? Hearing none, all in favor of Scott Helms as Vice President of the Park and Recreation, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You're in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Yep.
All right, excellent. That went like way better than years past. So
Really?
I don't think I lost any weight in this one, so. All right, we'll move on to the recommendation to approve the rebranding of the Indoor Aquatic Center.
Yes, so per your executive summary in your packet, in 2023, Hartford Park and Rec had $300,000 worth of capital improvement projects for the indoor pool. Staff solicited donations towards these projects. Staff first approached Signacast, who is the current name sponsor, to which they agreed to donate $50,000 over a 5-year period, which we were happy to accept that. Staff then approached the Lutz Family Foundation about the remaining $250,000 needed. Reminder that Terry Lutz was the former owner of Signacast, and he had told former Park and Rec Director Mike Herman to reach out if the city was ever in need. So we capitalized on that promise and reached out to his family. The Lutz family did agree to donate the remaining $250,000. So with that, using the city's park naming policy as a guideline, obviously this isn't a park, it's a public space within the rec center itself. This policy states, as reasoning for naming a facility would be that, quote, an organization that contributed significantly to the development of the facility and not less than 50% of the value of improvements, end quote. So based off of that, staff has made Signacast aware of this potential name change, and then staff recommends rebranding the indoor pool to be identified as the Hartford Family Aquatic Center, sponsored by the Lutz Family Foundation.
Any questions on the executive summary for Randy?
Signacast have any issues when you inform them?
No, they were aware that we were making this move, and then the Lutz Family Foundation also approved, this was their suggestion for the name.
It's a mouthful.
It is. Wait till we include indoor and on all our publications. It won't be on the sign, but
This whole thing going on the wall.
this will replace the current signage on the wall in the pool.
It's a
And
lot of
this-
ducks.
Pending approval, this would take place in August during our shutdown.
There you go, that answers the question.
This is semantics, but in correspondence that we put out, or let's say in the activity guide that we put out, are we gonna say, what are we gonna say?
The Hartford Family Aquatic Center, sponsored by the Lutz Family Foundation.
Okay.
Is the question here, Randy, about choosing a sign or about?
This is approval of the rebranding,
Yeah, okay, great.
and then we'll address the sign
Gotcha.
momentarily.
Gotcha. So,
So you can never say that it's just the Hartford Aquatic Center.
wasn't that before?
Yeah, it's, right now,
It's the
technically, it's the
Signacast
Signacast Indoor Family Aquatic Center.
But I mean, when you put it on publications, if we approve this, do you always have to add sponsored by the Lutz Family Foundation?
Yes, yes, we would.
That's the new name.
Correct.
And you wouldn't want the name to just be the Hartford Family Aquatic Center and have the sponsored by on the sign, which I saw is on there, rather than having it as part of the official name.
Well, I mean, with the Family Foundation being generous enough, for us, it's already a lengthy name, for the Aquatic Center, so I don't feel for staff it'll be that big of an adjustment. Now, will people always use the term sponsored by when discussing? Probably not.
No, but you would have to use it.
But in our publications, yes.
You wouldn't want to call it the Lutz Family Aquatic Center, because then it looks like they're the only ones that can use it.
Again, this was their suggestion for name, and we talked about it as staff. Sarah, who's at a track meet for her daughter right now, suggested adding the term indoor. I didn't want that officially on the sign, but you may see that in future program guides, just to differentiate between the outdoor and the indoor pool. You know, obviously, everyone here is well-versed in that, but not a regular user.
That's gotta be the longest name I've ever heard of any. I'm just saying, that's a long name.
Yeah.
They're not okay with us trying to shorten it somehow?
Again, I didn't have an issue with their suggestion.
I mean, the shower center was the Shower Arts and Activity Center, and they shortened that because they got tired of putting all that in all the publications. So, I'm just,
It might be something we look down the road, but right now to fully recognize their generosity.
okay.
Yeah, we wanna do that.
Yeah.
We're not saying don't use the Let's Family Foundation, I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't mind the sign and saying all that on the sign, I don't mind you putting this in some publications, but to be, if you have to do it to all of them because of this, which the shower center felt like they had to do, that's when they decided to change their official name. But even if you just said a while,
And again, down the road, there might be some abbreviations. If you look in your program guide, which is in your packet, right now, it will say the SignaCast, I believe the term Family Indoor Aquatic Center is in there. You know, we refer to it as the SignaCast pool.
okay.
And that, so it might evolve. Again, the marketing and the writing down aspect, I'll be honest, was not a major concern in the office.
Okay.
We always run things past Sarah. Sarah is not afraid to let us know, and that's what makes her good at her job. And there wasn't a concern on her part.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, if this is what we have, this is what, it is a substantial amount of money donated. Their recommendation, like you said, I mean, after a period of time, we may abbreviate it. But I think right now, if you guys, you know, who's got to be writing this 1,600,000 times or whatever it is, are okay with it, I think it's fine at this point. If there's no objections with the staff who has to deal with it, I'm okay with it. And then I know we're getting to the second part. There's a way to display it in a very proper manner too. So I guess I'm in favor. It's fine with me at this point.
Yeah, me too.
Anyone else? Executive summary in front of you guys.
I'll make a motion to accept staff's recommendation to rebrand the indoor pool to the Hartford Family Aquatic Center, sponsored by the Lutz Family Foundation.
I'll second that.
Motion by Scott, second by Ken. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor of approval of staff's recommendation, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, then we'll move on to the executive summary for replacing the sign to reflect this name.
So yeah, the 2024 CIP budget included $20,000 in approved funding for repainting the walls and the sign replacement. Last month, we approved $15,750 for the painting of the indoor pool, not the pool itself, but the walls. And staff is recommending option number 3 from Signworks of Hartford for the creation and installation of the new indoor sign for $4,175.58. That would keep us within budget, and as you flip your executive summary over, so that would be the option in black, if you would.
Is that black and red, Randy?
So yes, that would be a red line. So similar, we're mimicking the color scheme of the current sign, black and red. Again, we were told by the family, Terry liked those colors, liked the red, so we wanted to keep that theme going on.
We're keeping the sound panels, on the walls, we're keeping those blue.
Sound panels will be kept. I don't know that we've picked out colors yet. They will be repainted. But I will make a note.
And what color are our features in our slide?
Our features in our slide have red that ties this in. It also has blue on it as well.
But we don't have an abundance of black.
The sign right now is black lettering,
Right, but there's a lot of relief in there because it's just individual letters.
okay?
So I guess, to me, this is just a really big, huge, black blob.
So Kate, I see where you're going and I get it. I mean, that's kind of my question too.
Like, I like the second one better. I like option
And,
B.
and I'm right with you on that one. And the reason I say that, it mimics more of the, do it in Hartford type of thing, right? So we've been trying to keep that same type of a pattern flowing through all of the stuff for Hartford, our scheme. This one to me, B, to me, stands out a little bit, it kind of blends in with it a little bit more. And that's, I get where you're going with Kate, and I saw the same thing, and I was thinking, ooh, I really like the other one better, as well as you don't have the big, huge black on that wall. I think it would blend in a little bit better, but.
Because I take it it's more expensive to do individual letters like what's up there now.
We had 3 different options. This one was the cheapest, which, not the reason I chose it, but I was happy.
Right.
That would have been my choice, is choice C, and then the Lutz family also chose that. If this body decides, no, that's not what we'd want, I would ask that we table this, just to revisit it with the Lutz family, and then bring it back in June. Would be my suggestion if we don't agree on option C.
So, currently what's up there is that, when you work in there all the time and then you don't see it. A Signacast, does it say Signacast Family Aquatic Center? Is that what it says? Or does it just say Signacast?
It says Signacast Aquatic Center.
Yeah, it says
Yeah.
underneath it.
Nobody knows, we're all in there. But
Well,
it's
and this is-
individual letters.
Yeah, those are individual, and this is gonna be more of one sign, right? I mean, it's one flat sign, more or less, put up on the wall.
That's mounted on the wall.
opposed
Flat
to-
sign, it'll have 3D features. I don't know how much it'll pop, when
Right.
you come in the door.
Yeah, I mean, but, right, because the ones they have now, I mean, there's a huge, several ducks fit on them, so.
Way too many ducks fit on those. I guess I was thinking when the sign was going to be replaced, it would be very similar to what we have currently, which is individual letters. But I understand that that would be
That'd be
quite a
huge.
bit more expensive than just one panel.
So I can confirm, the current sign has the big black S.
Yeah.
With a small red ball, if you would.
Right.
Underneath it in red says Signacast, and then Family Aquatic Center all in black.
Didn't I say
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good. Right, but see how you have relief there? You don't have one solid panel of black. That's my, and I don't think you're going to want to do red sound panels above it, and then we have a blue
Well,
slide, and,
And that, my dear, is how we come in under budget.
I know, but from,
Yeah, that's their
Does have
typical.
family.
Did the family specifically ask for
This
red?
whole thing right here, logo, and we just added a.
If I think back, and, because this is really a 2-year plus process, because we got the donation in December of '22. But yes, red was a theme and named by,
I mean, I get it that we have red there now because it's Signacast's colors and they, that's their logo that we have on our pool. But we're black and orange. Everything's black and orange in this town.
well, Hartford High School is black and orange, and I
Our
realize
police cars are black and orange.
they are.
right, but
Right?
but what is your
Our sign
color?
behind you is black and orange.
No, but what is the rec department? You're
We're
not
blue
orange.
and green, or my business cards are purple.
No comment.
Well, and the thing too is, remember, the color request was from the foundation.
That's why I asked,
Right.
yeah.
You know, for the red and the black, and I get that part of it, and I'd like to honor that as well. My only thought is, you got just a lot, it's just gonna be a big, bold, the big black up there where I thought, I just think it looks a little more elegant with the B, but,
I like B as well.
And what would be really nice is whatever your wall color, here's what would pop, is if whatever your wall color is going to be, if that could be the background of B. So right now, B is showing us that it's gray, but if it could match the wall color,
Then it looks
what
like-
is going to happen is the black in the writing and the red accents will stand out more.
it'll almost
versus-
look like individual letters then on the wall.
Correct, correct. And I'm sorry that it costs you $300 or $400 more.
I don't know if the price is the huge issue at this point.
Ooh, it might be.
Make or break
Yeah,
it.
$300.
But yes, we could probably find a few $100s.
Yes, I teach.
At least we didn't go with one. I mean,
No, I like the lettering better in B and C. I'm not, I think it's just cleaner.
So my opinion here is I would 100% defer to the Lutzes and whatever they wish. I think they all look fine. I think a lot of these things are semantical, and that's a very generous donation, and I'm good with any of those and anything that they choose, and I think, that's a prudent path.
I mean, for me, one of the reasons I chose, I had C in mind before I presented it to the family. I think it holds true to the history of the facility with tying in the black and the red. Personally, I feel like B is bland. Black letters with a little bit of red. And A, I'm just not a fan of that. And obviously, it's a personal choice, personal style. That doesn't make me right or wrong. But that's how I came, and I'd like it to be known that, yes, I had C chosen, and I was hoping that the family would agree, and they did. But you guys are my bosses, so you let me know.
I mean, I agree. If the family wants C, I'm fine with C too. I just question the red color, that's all.
I'll motion to approve staff's recommendation.
I'll second the motion.
Second by Ken. Any other discussion? Any other motions? Hearing none. All those in favor of approval of staff's recommendation for option 3 from Signworks at a cost not to exceed $4175.58, say aye.
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 Opposed?
nay,
Duly noted. That motion carries. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the activity guide distribution. Who's got it?
Oh, sorry, that's me. Included in your packet is the new summer activity guide. That went live a week or two ago. So registration is open for most all activities in there. It's also online on our website. We've done Facebook ads as well, so we're out there.
All right, and then the summer fun tickets we have on sale again this summer?
Yep, so that's included right inside your guide, right inside the front cover.
All the same vendors as prior years? or-
Correct. I don't believe we lost anybody. And I know we didn't gain anyone either, so.
So it's like Noah's Ark.
So Noah's Ark, mainly Dell's attractions, Milwaukee County Zoo, I believe, is still in there as well.
Excellent.
You got the Six Flags, is that one in there too?
I don't believe Six Flags participates anymore. I don't believe they have for a couple of years.
Okay.
But I'm gonna verify that by looking in my program guide right now. So yeah, mainly Dell's attractions, the zoo, and then no Six Flags, so I did remember correctly.
They did years ago. I remember buying them like that. That's a long time ago. I wasn't sure.
All right, moving on to rec programs and activities, report on summer staffing.
So kind of going with youth ball first, we do have a handful of new umpires, which is great. I am always still accepting more applications. One actually came in today, so I'll get that going. We have a youth ball coordinator who's been around the program for the last 2 years. Her name's Izzy. She'll be taking over this summer for youth ball coordinator. She's been a concessions person and an umpire, so she kind of knows her way around everywhere for youth ball. And then also with playground staff, I have finished all of my interviews for that. I just have to be offering some of the positions, which I'll be doing this week. We do have a supervisor, and then we'll get a couple full-time staff. A lot of them are actually college students this year, so want full-time, which is awesome. Very different than last year for me, especially since it's May 1st and I'm gonna have a full team. So kind of looking forward to that and having everyone be on there. I am still looking for a preschool teacher. I have some applications that I'll be looking at this week for the summer, and then hopefully the same person goes into the fall.
What kind of attendance did you have at your umpire clinic, Melanie?
We ended up having, for Hartford itself, was about 3 or 4 that attended. All of them have been hired, so we get a couple trained
Excellent.
staff there.
How many overall between all departments?
Between all of us with Slinger and Richfield, I was there, there's probably about 25 to 30 umpires that were there between, it was mostly us, Richfield, and Slinger. Jackson, I don't think had anyone, but it is the 4 of us that run the clinic.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And even though we're beyond the umpire training, Melanie's still accepting applications for umpires. I was at the high school today for their job fair, and I know a number of the students there were interested in umpiring.
Excellent. Fitness class, summer schedule.
Yeah, so the silver classes are running the same schedule as year-round, so nothing changes there. For our adult fitness classes, though, Mondays we're offering spinning. That's by Dan and Megan. They do a great job at alternating those days with those classes to kind of switch up what they do. Mondays and Wednesdays we have a yoga class with a new instructor, Madeline. So far, I'm very excited to have her. We have good signups for those classes, so everyone's glad to have night yoga classes back. Tuesdays, we're offering high fitness and Zumba. Hannah's going to be teaching high fitness like she always does, and she does a fantastic job with that. And Zumba is going to be taught by a new instructor, Christina. She's currently running a session right now, and I've heard great things about it. So Glad to have her on our staff now. And then Thursdays, we'll be offering Stretch and Tone, which is Sue McNutt. She's been teaching it for the last couple of years. Our first summer session for fitness classes starts June 3rd, and that runs through July 13th. And then session 2 will be from July 22nd till August 30th.
Thank you, Zach. And we'll want to move on to adult and youth sports and back to Melanie for a youth ball update.
So once again, I mentioned Izzy being our youth ball coordinator. We also have a concessions person, and thanks to Ken, our concessions is up and running for the most part. One thing that we have to kind of fix, but slushy machine works, so that's always good. But we have the same staff as last year coming back to do concessions, so that's, less training on my end to do for that. And then this week, our practices started for our traveling leagues. So other than Monday kind of being an iffy day, yesterday and today have been beautiful for them to be able to get started out on the diamonds. 2 of the 3 nights that I have for coaches meetings are now done. I had baseball and softball in April, and our T-ball meeting is in a few weeks on the 16th. Jerseys have been ordered, and then just next up is getting T-ball bags ready and then contacting T-ball parents and contacting umpires to get that schedule done.
Excellent. And moving on to aquatics and update on Vets Aquatic Center and their summer schedule.
Yeah, so not much changed with our summer schedule at the outdoor pool. We had a couple tiny things though. Our full open swim season is from June 1st to August 25th. It is slightly changed from what is in your activity guides and the ones we dispersed. After we had already published that and sent it to our distributor, we found out that the high school was starting a little bit earlier than we thought. So that removed the whole postseason week, which was originally, I believe, August 26th to the 30th. So that's completely removed from our schedule. We will not be open on those days. The 25th will be our last day, which is a Sunday. Weekdays, we're going to be having the normal open swim from 1 to 7. The week of June 3rd through the 7th are going to be something new. We're doing preseason hours. That's going to be a 3 o'clock start time until 7 o'clock. Hartford's out of school, but there's still surrounding schools in the area that are in school at that time. So we wanted to do that 3 o'clock start time just to kind of make sure we get a couple more people at the start of open swim. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't hit our minimum numbers and we'd close by the time they're able to come. Weekends are still going to be 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock like normal. Night swims will be Thursdays from 7:30 to 9:30. The first night swim will be on June 13th. Morning hours will start on June 10th, along with swim lessons, which we'll talk about in a couple minutes here. Lap swim will start at 6 o'clock a.m. and run until 12:45. Lazy River walking, which is probably our most popular time at the outdoor pool, is from 8:30 to 12:45, and our toddler swim is from 10:30 to 12:45.
All right, and seasonal pass sale report.
Yeah, so the season passes are on sale as of now. Throughout the month of May, we have a $5 off sale for the individual passes and a $10 off sale for the family passes. So that'll run through May 30th, and then after that point, we'll still be selling the passes year-round through the season, but they won't have that discount on them.
Summer swim lesson report.
So overall, signups are going well, and there's still spots left for families to sign up for. This is one of the little changes that I mentioned earlier. We did change the timing slightly for swim lessons at the outdoor pool in the morning. We're going to be starting at 9:30 instead of 9:45. The reason for that is during last year, we ended our swim lessons around 12:55, and that caused a lot of clutter in the bathhouse with open swim starting at 1 o'clock. So moving that start time up from 9:45 to 9:30 will allow about 20 minutes in between the end of the last session and the start of open swim, which will completely clear out the bathhouse in between and allow everyone to flow in perfectly fine rather than families kind of butting in and out on their way out. So.
Good idea. Maintenance update at Vets.
So I'll make a couple notes and then Brian will kind of take over. First thing, Ken kind of came out and helped us set that up. The concession stand, so everything looks great in there. Still got to fire up the turbo chefs, but thank you, Ken, for helping us out with everything else. And then an update that is going to be nice this year is our pool vacuum has been repaired from last year. We had a ton of sand in our lap lanes last year, and the reason for that was about 3 weeks in, our pool vac basically broke down. It was a complete pump failure. We weren't able to get it repaired last summer, but working with Carico these last couple months, they were able to get it all fixed, and we got it yesterday. So should be a lot cleaner on the pool floor this year.
Anything to add, Brian?
Yes, for the startup of the facility, we just have a lot of small projects going on all at one time. Naturally, it's quite a process to bring that facility up to life again and get everything running. We did have a few setbacks, naturally, as we knew we would, with the age of the building and the mechanicals inside. We've hit a few setbacks, but nothing that's over and not unexpected. The boilers, we did today, ran a mock test on it just with hot water in the system and fired each one of them to make sure that the piping doesn't leak, and ran it into the drain, and it worked perfectly fine with no leaks. So the next step now will be draining that complete system, because that's going to be charged with glycol, so antifreeze, so we don't have to do the winterization of two complete huge 8 million BTU boilers and all the heat exchangers and sweat all winter long when it freezes, wondering if we drained every bit of water out of every nook and cranny. So I guess on a good note, it's good. I would expect the insulating to be done by midweek next week, and we'll probably want to run one more test on it. And I think we're good to go as far as the pool heating goes. Now the next step is getting water in the surge tanks after our caulking dries and see if we have any pump issues. The caulking project is about, I'd call it 80% complete. The installer, actually today I found out late in the day why they weren't there today was they have the main pool vessel done in zero depth area, but they do not have the lazy river done because they ran out of material because of how deep the joints ended up needing caulk and what they planned for the project. They ordered a certain amount, they used it all up in the shell. So now they had to reorder. He's thinking it's going to come in on Friday, so they'll be here as soon as it comes in. And quite frankly, I think tomorrow's rain and you need at least 24 hours. So even with that, we're moving along just fine. No big setbacks. That's going to halt us for anything that we need to worry about right now. A pump issue would be the only problem we would have, because last year the availability of a few parts were weeks out. And we're right at that golden hour right now to figure all that out, so.
Do we have additional cost with that additional caulk, Brian?
No, I asked him about that, and he's like, nope, that's on me. So they are basically going to finish the whole lazy river, and there will not be another cost added on to the project.
Nice.
I was worried about that when he kind of said that, so I had to ask him up front, and he said no. And they offered to do our surge tanks also, which wasn't even on the bid. And I asked him about what caulk to use, and he just made a comment, well, my guys are there, they'll do it, they have the equipment. And I just thanked him. It's not a lot, but it's enough.
Right.
And so very, very good results with the company that we're using.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Did we have the heater, you get a heater going in there too?
Sorry, Joe?
Is there a heater in that pool? We're putting a new heater in that one this year?
Yes, so there's two heaters that were installed. One's gonna have a split unit with a modulating valve to heat the lazy river because it's so small. So we not lost, but we were able to gain 8 million BTUs is what we had just for the big pool, the large vessel and zero depth. So we didn't have to buy another heater. The company, J&H Heating, did the math on what our recovery rate was, our delta difference on the outgoing water and incoming water, and we decided to not buy another heater for just the lazy river. and make the other ones work a little harder, which is good. The more they run, the better they are. And do a split on the system and just buy the heat exchanger for it and use one of the boilers.
Awesome.
So, for the zero depth area, because that one would run the least.
Good.
So we should see significant, I hope, savings. We went from a 40% efficient units to 80% efficient units just alone, and we're minus 2 million BTUs worth of heating. So,
Plus the water will be saving with the caulk work.
Yeah.
correct.
All right, any questions of Zach or Brian?
Well, just one more. So I gotta broach this question. So we have the sand, we had a problem with the sand in there. And, you know, in a pool area and stuff like that, I mean, I get it, but have we ever thought of any other material or even a poured surface or something like that opposed to the sand? Because it's gotta be wear and tear on our equipment, no matter whether the vacuum cleaner works or not. I'm sorry, I had to
No,
approach that question.
I think not just equipment, you know, thinking about vacuums, but the
The
filter.
filters and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just my question. I see it, I get why it's there, it's fun, I'm sure some of the kids like it, but it is the benefit, the payoff on it.
Yeah, I can answer that for you, Joe. I know you and I have talked about that previously too. I haven't been able to do a deep dive, but when we previously talked, I was looking for, I don't want to say a simple solution, but a cheaper solution than what I found. The naturals are to take the sand out and replace it with poured in place. And I can't tell you what the numbers were off the top of my head, but it was larger than what I was hoping to be able to find. You know, the other things we could do, I know Zach and I have talked, we would love to put in a water vortex, which would basically be a ground water play system for preschool ages. Zach and I have talked about doing basically a splash pad there as
Right,
well.
right.
Again, those are awesome options. And I don't want to say that the affordability of it would be a larger sum than I was hoping we'd have to be able to do.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't expect anything to change, you know, today or anything else like that,
Yeah.
but just to keep in the foresight, because like I said, not only is it a mess, but it's also, I mean, it's like sandpaper going through the system, so,
I don't think Zach or Brian would argue with you, not for a second.
no. But, all right, more to come on that though, but I appreciate you looking into it. and,
Absolutely, yep.
We'll keep that in sight. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to the Hartford Family Aquatic Center, sponsored by the Lutz Family Foundation, Summer Swim Lesson Report.
Very similar to the outdoor pool, minus the time changes. That'll still run 5 to 8 o'clock like normal. Signups are going well. There's still tons of spots available for families to sign up. We just had 2 swim assessments that families can bring in their children. We had a couple instructors there. They run them through basically our check sheets of our classes, just to let them know what level they recommend that they sign up for. And we had some good numbers there last night during that. So should be plenty of people still signing up for it. Should be able to fill those classes pretty well.
All right, in parks, we have staff report on park projects.
You or me, Brian? You want me to lead? Okay. So with the nice weather, and I also have to say, adding the 4th person has been tremendous for our staff. The items we've been able to tackle and take on. Obviously, we're prepping the bathrooms for opening, as the parks will officially open on Friday. That will be our opening day, so public can expect all bathrooms to be open and in use starting Friday morning. We did have a snow removal on April 3rd. Obviously, been doing maintenance on mowers and small equipment, prepping for the growing season here. We've had some tree removals and trimmings. We did do a tree planting. We did 3 trees in Woodlawn Park. That was part of our Arbor Day celebration that we did on Friday. I do want to give a shout out to Commissioner Hummel, who attended and supported the event. I was happy to see him there, and I appreciate the appearance. And we have started mowing. Rotary Park, as you may have noticed over the weekend, gained a fishing pier. That's a donation from the Rotary Club. Every expense to that project is covered by the Rotary. So a combination of the Parks crew and Streets crew were able to get that installed last week. Centennial Park, we're starting on the signs. Garbage cans were installed. Independence Park, I don't know that we were planning, we were hoping to get to more surface grading for the drive in the parking lot. We replaced the dog waste container at Independence Park with something a little more park-friendly, usable for our users, and something a little more, we'll call it comfortable for our crew to be able to handle. And then at Westside Park, we were able to repair the stones that were loose on the backside of the gazebo that had been there quite a while, and our staff was able to tackle that.
Any questions for Randy or Brian on the park project report? All right, let's talk about Centennial Park's grand opening.
Just a reminder that Friday is the day. As of right now, the weather looks like it's going to be cooperating, showing a high of 71, and rain chances are minimal. Again, Friday, 5:30 to 8:30 will be our grand opening. We'll have a short ceremony at 6. Mayor Mahalik will be kind enough to say a few words, and then we'll have a ribbon cutting. And then we're featuring beverages from Brewed Omen for sale. The barbecue company out of Aaron will be there serving food out of their food truck, and we'll have music by Wait for Morning. Will be our musical act starting at 6:30 after our ceremony. And it is open to the public. You all should have received your invites. I hope to see some of you guys there as well, and ladies. Yeah, we're excited and ready to go.
Excellent. Any commission requests tonight? Anything on your mind or anything you want to talk about?
No, but, Friday night, I'm looking forward to that, Randy. That should be great.
I'll let you buy me a beer.
Wait a minute. All right, that's fine. I'll do that, Randy. For you, Randy, I will do that. But no, that should show, folks what's possible. So this has been a long road, and it's not just another pavilion. It's going to become the de facto, town square for the central plots for the city of Hartford, which never really had that. So I hope folks will come out and see it, because it's, there'll be more of that to come.
Yeah.
And it should be great. It's a great new chapter.
And that's why we're doing this. And again, we're going to mimic this event 2 more times in the summer to show the service clubs and other people that want to utilize it, that they're able to. I hope the outpouring from the public is great. Personally, I see this going well. Maybe that's how we kick off every summer, is with our beer garden event. Would love to do that. And then our rentals for the facility are doing well for Centennial. There's a rental every weekend, starting from Friday all the way through to the end of July, and I'm sure August will start filling up here shortly.
Nice. There you go.
Yep.
I just have a shout out to all of you. We had some items on the agenda tonight that weren't big ticket items. They weren't, but I thought we had some really good discussion. People talked about things and asked questions that maybe some of the rest of us weren't afraid to ask or had trouble asking or whatnot. And I think the different backgrounds of everybody on this commission bring something to the table. And I thought it was a great discussion tonight. And I'd look forward to, and I'd encourage that kind of discussion on future topics, because I think everybody has something to contribute here, and you did tonight. So thank you. Anything else tonight? Then I look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Who made the motion? Kate, motion,
I'll,
second by?
I'll second.
Who?
John?
By John. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.